Hello, this is, I think, the last one where my audio has failed. So this is done retrospectively, which is always so difficult to try to recapture what you were thinking at the time. I'm trying to think. I will try my best to keep this flowing as best as I possibly can, but please forgive me if it's a little bit disjointed. Right, I seem to be looking at the blinking 51. So contract. I think I must be looking for my tractor. That should be around there. This is when I've got too many. Oh no, looking at field 43. I don't know what I'm. Is there a contract for that? That's the John Deere down there. I remember on that episode, and the fence just where the blinking dot is. Yeah, there's a fuel point that I put in the wrong place by mistake. Yeah, I am. What am I talking about? I think I'm talking about making that next strip. I do hate it when you have to record sound after the session. It's never as good as the original sound that you recorded at the time. I don't know what on earth I'm on about with 43. Why I'm hovering over that so amazingly. And one thing I do know is I'm spending way too much time on the map, but I must be saying something quite intriguing about probably plans for the future of the. I think, yes, about eventually buying Lone Oak Farm Barn, even if it's just for the cattle yard. Right, let's try and see what I'm going to do now. Right, well, I finished the ploughing, so what am I going to do? Looking at contracts. Right, so in field 51. Is this might be the one where I'm trying to show you, yes, because I lost a couple of episodes due to my my other recording software that I no longer use, my Marilis Action, which, oh boy, did that let me down a few times in this Let's Play, and ripped holes in the flow of the Let's Play because there's entire sections missing. Yeah, I'm showing you this is obviously one of those where I've lost an episode before, so I'm literally showing you fuel and wages, contracts. Yeah, I'm explaining why I've got so much money, because I did an awful lot of contracts yesterday. Because obviously the missing episode shows me much lower. Then obviously I did lots of contracts, and then today, what mind you, I spent. That's right. It's because I bought a load of equipment that would make no sense. Like, yeah. Wow, done a cracking job on that field. Those thin strips. Now I've discovered the fact I needed to plough them to carve the fields out. I'm so well chuffed with. I think this is where I'm literally going to grab the sower. I'm blocking the traffic. I love the way the cars are inside each other. Quite amazing. I've noticed a few times on this. Alright, struggling with that on the front. It's skipping a bit. Yeah, look at that. The bonnets are all inside the boots. Oh dear. Wow, that's 6 metre. We could only get away with that on an American map. I think I mentioned it on another one, but again, that could be the missing bit. So this is probably, or was for a long time, my go-to mod for a seeder, but because I mainly play on English maps, it's almost impossible to use, because just look how much over the road. It's almost twice as big as the road. On an English map there's hedges everywhere, so you just can't drag it with you, whereas on this one obviously you can literally go into the verge, which does mean I can bring it out. It is a pleasure to use it. I don't quite use it as much as I'd like, because I do use the caster that we've got as well, although I'm not sure in this episode, going back in the flow of time, I'm recording this when I've done over 30 episodes. This is episode 7, so I'm stepping back in time and trying to trace this, trying to remember what happened in this episode and what we had and hadn't done by this time. The list, I think, that of things that I wanted, the equipment that we wanted, and where we wanted to be. I now have every single piece of equipment that we listed. In fact, really, that's a mistake saying something like that. That's silly, because that ruins the... I don't know, really. I suppose, yeah. There are plenty more of additions of things that aren't listed that we do, and things that I never dreamt that we would do by the time I'm at episode 30 odd. It's definitely, to my way of thinking, well worth watching, and certainly not where I'm not a contract. I don't normally do the contracts, but going forwards, it is something I definitely would consider trying to do a little bit more of, because it truly does us proud in this Let's Play. I mean, I can't believe that we had so little, and we've got a couple of tractors already and quite a bit of equipment. We are doing so well. And I do love the Fendt GT, this strength it's got of that front box, and literally it can make you fulfill contracts that far bigger sowers, seeders just couldn't accomplish, just because of that extra 4,000 storage on the front box. Amazing. Although if I remember rightly, this next contract's a little bit too big even for that. It's still amazing. I'm not going to do the transporter, am I? I'm not going to... What's this? Was I? Yes, oh I am. This is an amazing mod. I know what I was trying here. I was thinking, if I only get the smaller one and fill that with only 1,000 litres, the weight of the 4 tonnes in the middle and the almost a tonne at the back should keep it low enough. But if you saw, even just picking the box up made it skip then. The one thing I haven't done yet, don't think, later on in the Let's Play I buy a weight. If I had had the foresight to buy a weight at this time, I might actually have pulled this off, what I'm trying to do now. But because it's so heavy, forward heavy, because of balance and physics, what I'm trying to do now ends up not working. You can see that. Look, it's even without any weight in at all. Put a tonne or tonne and a half of seeds in, and seriously, there's no way that's going to work. But I have not discovered this for myself in the flow of time yet. So yeah, manage that so far. Still skipping a little though. Yeah, you can't fill the transporter box directly, but it does actually class it as additional storage, so you can put things in it and it will. Now this is where it looks like it's going to succeed. It's not skipping an awful lot, but it is. I don't get very far before I throw the idea out as a failure. However though, if I had have put a weight on the back with an attacher, it would have worked. You can see there I'm running into trouble. I know what happens next. Whoa. That was a good manoeuvre. I'm quite pleased with that. Quick thinking, quick reactions. It's a shame my quick thinking didn't happen before the disaster happens, and of course the invariable traffic that knocks me about. It does make you laugh, these cars. Can't you overtake that? Really? I always manage to drop the adapter off, always, when I'm trying to let go of the thing at the back. And now, sometimes that adapter, it doesn't register, and I'm sure that's what happens next. You literally have to usually run it over a couple of times, or yeah, I'm going to have to let them by. Oh, Isn't it typical? How much traffic? Now, what I should have done was actually left that on that side and just gone across. Oh, I get me. I'm literally leaving it and just going to try to trust in the 4,830 litres I've got in the back and in the Cedar. I'm sure this is... It's for a big field. I can't remember if this is 43 or 51. I think... Was it 51 that was flashing? Or have I just taken a 43 contract, which you'll see in a minute. I'm a terror for... Oh, is it the field 24 one? Would imagine with the way direction I'm... No? Wow, that was a bit of bad driving. I must have been talking to and not concentrating properly. Oh, I don't know. No, I'm sure there's a car behind me. Yeah, there is. I can hear it. This is, I think, I pull over for it eventually. And nearly clang into the sign, if I remember rightly. No, I'm not remembering rightly. That must have been another time, because I did do that on one of these, in that exact place. Ah, it was just further down. I did think I did, but wrong post. It does get tight down here. Oh, don't you just love that bird song? It sounds absolutely beautiful. And the sunshine, I can almost imagine I'm there. Absolutely beautiful map this is. I'm so chuffed to be on Lone Oak. It's one of those maps that I've tried about 3 or 4 times and it's never gelled. It never sort of gripped me, but this time with doing the contracts and starting from scratch. Oh, there's another car. You'll have to wait. Okay, pulling off the road in a minute, you'll have to wait. Yes, it is. I've tried to do the Lone Oak map a few times. It's just never quite gripped me as this one has. Starting from absolutely zero money, doing contracts, doing just those thin strip fields that we've just begun to do. It's it's actually become one of my favourite Let's Plays that I've had a go of. I'm enjoying it. I will be grateful when I've got tractors that are a little bit faster than 90 miles an hour though, because dragging you guys and gals... Oh, it is 51, yeah. Dragging you guys and gals across the map at 90 miles an hour is a little bit excruciating. Oh, is it canola? This. Oh. Surely I time-lapse this. Surely. This is a big field. 51 is. Ah, I know what I do. Yes. I don't time-lapse this one. I think I leave this one with the worker going whilst we go and do our fields with the John Deere. I'm sure that's what I did next. Yeah, I've done quite a bit of time-lapsing in this, but there were certain episodes where I left the workers doing work and didn't time-lapse because we were working on our little thin strip fields around the edge, preparing, sowing and planting, and we need to start to sow. Wow, it's only too early spring. I can't believe how we're doing. It's only the second day. Wow. I can't believe we've got 2 tractors already. That's just through the contract. Well, we did see it was 61,000 that we earned from contracts yesterday, so that does bring in quite a bit. So I can understand. We've invested in our equipment almost straight away. And the contracts weren't always good to us on day one either. We had a couple of bloopers that we've already shown. One contract that sort of tripped us back to almost the start. A second one that just disappeared. Oh no, actually that might be a few episodes ahead actually, so I'll push my mouth. There's quite a lot of bloopers on this Let's Play, to be honest, where the contract system sends me on some right merry dancers. I've literally included all of the I think it adds to something when you make mistakes or things happen, and it also shows that I'm certainly not an expert on the contract system, which I openly admit, but to be honest I have a go, and it does teach me quite a lot. As I say, it's something I will definitely consider going forwards. I always just play my fields. Normally, I don't normally do the contracts very much at all, but truthfully, it does well. It's brought in 2 tractors and quite a bit of equipment, and we're only on day 2, so it's definitely not something you should ignore. Ah, yeah, was that right? Yeah. That's too heavy. I've not got enough weight to pack it in, but I'm a stubborn person sometimes. Try and persevere, but I do eventually get the message. There's only so much ignoring that weight you can do before reality strikes and you think, Now then, I think this is where I'm gonna. Yes, I know what I'm doing now. I think I'm gonna. We've ploughed these strips, and obviously we're going to sow them at some points, but obviously our money's not fantastic at the minute. I think we're preparing all of our fields. I was beginning to turn away from just contracts, because we've just got a little bit of money enough for seeding. We've got the container mod where we can grab very reasonably priced seeds, so I'm just preparing all of my fields for hopefully when we do improve and we actually start to buy our fields. So I'm explaining that the cooperative in the local area allows new farmers to get started. The contracts on the local thing and try to give people a hand up, and they've got these strips of land in the area around the thing where they let you earn some money. It's a welcome for new farmers in the area that you can literally use some of these fields until you get established yourself. A helping hand, I think, is a very fantastic thing of the local area. This is where I'm trying to manually record the course, because obviously the course play doesn't read these properly. If you were to try to calculate the field edge, it will do it past this bit, so you've got to manually record the old-fashioned way. So I'm just making a couple of recordings. So we've got field edges, but also if you notice I'm actually leaving quite a generous amount around the side, because if you don't, it clangs into the side when you've got implements. And also you're always best to approach from the left hand side where you leave that edge on your left, so that there's not much turning around. The trouble is sometimes on narrow fields, when courseplay does it, it leaves, depending on the size of the implement, weird jaggy bits in the middle that then it does flip into the side. So yeah, it certainly makes it very difficult to get these strip fields done, to be honest, except with a certain types of things. Although it is fantastic that we've got this free land, they are very difficult to actually use, so it's not something you would want to do for a long time. Every time I've done this, there's a lot of trouble in setting up field edges. Yes, it's not easy to implement them into your thing. Nevertheless, it is free, so this was a real massive helping hand with obviously bringing in some income when we do finally plant our, and obviously in the future harvest. There we go, that's the field edge. Yeah. Ah, I would have thought that was field 7. Why did I call that 58? So that's what happened. Alright, I wondered. Later on I got the field edge missing. I have no idea why I called that 58A. 58's right down the other end. That's why I couldn't find it. I thought I'd not actually done it, whereas I'd called it the wrong number. I don't know. I wonder why I did that. Very strange. This is me showing you equipment that we are going to purchase in the future. I do this a little bit too often. It's a bit naughty of me, really, keep going through the menus when I'm doing field work, but we are Courseplays actually doing it, so yeah, do spend way too. Yeah, there. That's what we're talking about, the Fendt GTs and how reasonable they are. In if you look at that, that's 13,000. Just even if you go brand new, if you go second hand, it's about 9,000 for a set of 7-metre mowers. That's unbeatable. To be honest, you can buy the Fendt GT second hand for 9,000, and the mowers for about under 18,000. You can get a proper mower, and the Fendt GT on itself, I've got to be honest, is one of the most underestimated. It's not a powerhouse, but it is so versatile. Obviously, it's got its downsides. It only does 90 miles an hour. It's not a very agile tractor. It's got quite a poor turning circle, but I will put up with all of that for how good it is. Excellent starting mower. You can afford 2 of those for less than a standard mower setup. And once you've got 2 Fendt GTs traversing a field with 14 metres, it's bigger than even the Kong Skilled. So to be honest, for less than a cheap mower setup, you've got a mower that beats even or a set of mowers that beats even the biggest set of mowers in the game. So again, I haven't always said, I used to think going bigger was the way to do it, but it's actually teamwork for the win, definitely. And also, it's so much cheaper but so much better. And the Fendt GT, it's not just a mower, that is just the beginning of its capabilities. I love it as a fertiliser, and the Fendt platforms, I just literally put lime and fertiliser in those, and you can increase its capacity to 7 or 8,000 with some of the bigger spinners, which is actually bigger than some of the trailed ones. So it makes it from what people would consider a weak tractor into something quite formidable if people look at it a little deeper than on the surface. I don't very often use it as a plough with its own plough and things like that, or its cultivator, because there are plenty of other mods that are even on the Fendt. I mean, that's probably not its strength, the ploughing, although it can manage this. Obviously, I have used a set of Fendt GTs to plough a massive field before, 3 or 4 of those, and to be honest, they made small work of a massive field. Again, teamwork. It's not about the biggest plough. That's a few $100, that plough, but you get 5 of those and all of a sudden you've got a 10-metre plough, and it doesn't take long to plough up even one of the largest fields if you've got a 10-metre plough. And for the cost as well, I mean, it costs probably less, 5 of those at $250, $1,200 for a 10-metre plough. It's just impossible to do that. The Ferguson set is absolutely amazing. For any Let's Play where you've got to literally build it. I mean, I did start this Let's Play with the Fergie, but things went wrong. And again, in a way, I'm sort of glad, because it's useful for a few fixed for like yard work, because 13 miles an hour to do even the fertiliser jobs, it would be so painful to drag you guys and gal across the map with a 30 mile an hour. It would take probably half an episode to just traverse the map to get there. And obviously we all know it's obviously a very weak tractor. Again, it's a starting tractor, but there's a lot of things it can do. It can do fertilising, spinning, drag a few trailers around, and you could certainly use it for cleaning up yards. The transporter mod is an absolute excellent bucket. It's fast becoming my go-to mod for cleaning up animal areas, because it's not hard. I usually use the Volvo with a bucket, and getting that level exactly right takes an awful lot of work. Whereas, why is he not? Oh, I know what he's doing. He's going to the other end. But using that, it takes all the hard work out. You just literally put it backwards, run backwards, it goes. There's none of that working the level out to make sure your bucket's at that level where it's picking up, which I always find so. Usually manage to run forwards, not get the angle right, run backwards, and then get it at least 2 or 3 goes before I've got the angle right. And that's with lots of practice. So it's nice when you've got tools that take the really hard work out of things and make things take the stress out of things. Definitely, there's a lot of tools in this, some of the mods, that when things don't work right, especially on a Let's Play where you're inviting guests in to have a look at what you're doing, seriously. Now that Stara is an absolutely amazing startup mod, and the Strumrix one that I've got, which before I found the cultivator with the fertilising on it as well, that was my go-to. I would plough, and I would literally use the Strumrix with its smallest setting of 6 meters and drag the Fergie 3-ton tipper behind it full of fertiliser, and it would literally, I'd fertilise whilst ploughing. And that is, again, cheap as chips. The Strumrix is $750, I think, and the Ferguson trailer $650. So for like $1,400 or $1,350, something like that, it was. You've got a setup where you can, especially on precision farming, it's absolutely amazing. You can plough and fertilise in one pass. That is amazing. Or cultivate again. I'm not so fussy as a lot of people on this. I don't mind whether I plough or cultivate, because you can seed straight on a ploughed field. So I'm not. They've done it through the ages with a plough and seeded straight on a ploughed field. So I'm not going to get all funny about it or bent out of shape just because I will do that and some content creators won't. It works, the game mechanics allow it, and in real life people have done that. They might not do it anymore because we've got far better tools, but it was done that way for generations, and you're not telling me that the crops didn't grow. Now this is me just having a good look at the is this where I'm? I think this is where I'm buying the caster, isn't it? I love this next mod. If I'm doing what I think I am and I'm buying the Lancer Seeder, it is an absolutely amazing caster. Only I don't buy the big ones, the 30-meter ones, because I just think it's a bit unrealistic. But for those who sort of say, "Oh, casting's unrealistic," farmers casted by hand from a bag for thousands of years, so a 10-meter caster is not so far away from the bounds of possibilities. The 30-meter ones maybe are stretching it a little bit. I certainly don't think a 10-meter one is anything too terrible. What am I doing? What am I doing? This is where I know. I thought you could put a weight on the front, but you can't. And this is where I sort of realised that you can't. Yeah, I think I was a bit gobsmacked, if I remember, a bit incredulous. Oh, I remembered wrong. And I do remember that, funnily enough. It's funny looking back on these episodes now and seeing how far I've come by episode 32. Yeah. Amazing 18-meter setup this. 3,500 and 650, 4,000 odd for that. On a shoestring, and that literally can... The fertiliser contracts are so amazing, but to be able to trail that with such a small... It also carries 1,500 itself, so 4,500 capacity with an 18-metre spread. That is absolutely phenomenal value. And imagine the Fendt GT on the front. If this was the Fendt GT, you've got a 4,000 box, 1,500 in the middle and 3,000 at the back. $8,500 you could have with that setup. That's quite some. That's bigger than some of the bigger trailed fertilizers. So again, absolutely amazing. Oh, am I doing another contract with this? I must do a time lapse in a minute. I must do that. Yeah, I've not got long left, so yeah, if this suddenly cuts out, it's because I'm moving to the time lapse. So I'm going to say see you guys and gals on the other side. Maybe not just yet. Is it? I didn't see what field it was. I was not paying attention. I know I did use this setup for quite a while. The only disadvantage to the trailed is something I'd forgotten that I have rediscovered is if you're going to use a trailed thing, the worker tries to reverse, they can't control that trailer with reverse. So what you need to do is instead of doing the up and down lines, you need to change it to the round and round ones, which is something that I'd forgotten. I've rediscovered it a few episodes ago. But yeah, I seem to drop the Fergie trailer for a while and I use my absolute go-to favourite setup. But if I'd have remembered that, this one would have done me for a lot longer. Might just still use this, but not so much, because my go-to's got a 36 metre spread for the fertiliser and liming, so I can cover a lot more distance a lot more quickly. Although, as I pointed out a few times, that's not always an advantage. If you've got to keep skipping around from field to field during a Let's Play when you're trying to work on a field yourself, it just keeps dragging you off. So I have to move it. So in some ways I'd sooner do a couple of contracts a session, but have that take a while to do it, so that the flow of the Let's Play is a little better. Can't see any flashing fields yet, so I'm not there, so I'll carry on talking. But yeah, it is an amazing setup, especially on a shoestring like we have been, you know, so far. I still can't believe it's only day 2. There were quite a few pivotal contracts that, and I suppose it is a combination, you can't pin any success on a single contract, but there were quite a few. I remember one of the first seeding jobs, it was a cotton job that was paid us $15,000. I think that was actually the job that enabled us to buy the John Deere. Not that I did it straight away, but yeah, I nearly lost that as well. I had to, in fact, yeah, that was the one when I had to sacrifice the Fergie tractor to buy some seed. I mean, I still remember that episode. It was a bit of a tough call, but we did it, and I was chuffed. It's nice because one of the stipulations on this was no bank loans, so I was so close to losing that. I'd invested so much money into equipment, and I could, like I said, I did admit this at the time, I could have actually taken another contract on at the time to pull us out of it, one that didn't cost as much, but it still was quite a sticky moment. But it was nice once I'd pulled us out of it, even though it did cost us the Fergie tractor at the time to pull us out, to put us into positive, to buy the extra seed to finish the contract. It was definitely one pivotal contract that I do remember. That was like a nosedive that got turned in the end to a positive. We have had a few, in fact we've got some blooper contracts as well that are quite amazing. I still, the feeling, although people say, oh, it's just a game, the feelings that you get, anyway, I'm going to shut up because we're approaching the field, so this is going to be time lapse any minute, so I'm going to say see you guys and gals on the other side. naturally produce nitrogen. Is that the precision farming aspect? Ah, I never thought of that. It has used 4 litres. Like it's topped up certain areas. So I'm wondering, is it something to do with that? 'Cause it's very strange. Right, let's accept that. Collect. Right then, so let us make the most of this. Let's just see how much. 72%. Brilliant. Right, let's purchase while we've got the money. Our mower setup. Leave that at the shop. Do exactly what we said we were going to do. So butterfly. Yeah, I'm not even going to. Really, we can't. Let's do that as fast as possible. I don't mind that mod. It's useful. Yes. Now the front cutting bar for the 250 GT. Yes. Now we want the one thing I never mentioned, which we will need, is a, mind you, to be honest, thinking about it, let's stick to what we said to begin with. We do really need a windrower, and I never mentioned that, but that's small money, so let's stick to the list that we said originally, which is milling machine, $3,400, and trailer. Let's make sure we've got enough money for, yeah, we have still got enough money for, we pretty much literally spent all that we just earned there, but then we've got the full setup of what we wanted, so you can't complain at that. Now then, I don't think the colours actually do anything on this, if I remember rightly. Oh, I think we can afford that. Right, and this is this rim colour. Let's do that green. Main colour, we are going to use it mainly for grass, so let's give it a nice green colour. And the design colour, let's give that a lighter green. Yeah, that's a very green. Very green. So a buy. So unless I've made a mistake, let's just go through this in our, should we repair? No, we'll repair that properly. Right, so we've got that. So that's for picking up the one thing I would like to do, which we certainly can't afford until we've done this, is the only other thing that I wanted was this leveler. I'd like to try this out, which is a mod that I've not long put in, the Bar Eric's wheel roller. I'd like to have a go at that, as it stands as well. 4.5 is the biggest, isn't it? Yeah. So 3,650 that would cost. I'd like to try that out and see how much of a difference. I would imagine if that's got a 4.5 ton increase from water, that's going to be a fairly decent compactor. So that's definitely what I'm going to test. I usually go for the hollow ass, the Stego. I usually go one front, one back, because they are absolutely amazing. And really, if you go front and back, if you level it a little bit, it really does half. It compacts them in no time. So there we go. That is us. 78%. Let's have a look at the field. Keep your eye on it. In fact, yeah, let's go run over, because it's a more interesting view than truly just sitting. think that would be getting close now. Well, now you can see the distance. Perhaps a little bit of this strip maybe. Wow, I wasn't far off with my guesstimate on how much seeds we would use. Excellent. I'd say a little bit down this strip and we'll be classed as done, because it's certainly not missed anything. It usually allows you for the corners on the turns on the corners, but because of my overlap, for once there's only that one little bit of a corner bit I can see that's missing. It's actually overlapped the corners almost perfectly, which is fantastic. So truthfully, it allows for those type of corner misses and things like that in the thing, and we've covered those. So I'd imagine we probably may get a strip or a strip and a half free that it classes as those corner strips. So yeah, I'm expecting or hoping to see the contract complete message any minute. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, any minute. Let's drive that ourselves. Yeah, oh wow, it's just another second. I don't believe that. Oh wow. Excellent. So collect. Let's just check for new contracts. Cultivate and sowing. Oh, decent sowing. I'm not going to do it this time. This is the end. We could do that one. That one, field 28. I don't think that's that big a field, is it? It's got to be quite large for that thing, but I don't think it's a monster, is it? Field 28. Where are you? Must be down here somewhere. Ah, oh, that's that first field that we did. So yeah, it is quite a large field, but nevertheless, for that, I think we will probably, let's take that contract ready for next time. It's definitely a good one. Accept contract. What we'll do is we'll take our equipment over. In fact, we are close to that. I reckon we'll actually do that with what we've got left. So I will run this tractor down there. And I'll put this on follow me. No, I won't actually, I'll leave it there. It's not really hurting where it is. I'll run that ready for next time, literally to start the contract straight at, and it's still on canola as well, so excellent. I think we'll do it. Bearing in mind the size of the field we've just done, I think we'll do that. We used 830, 800 and 900, about 1,000. Yeah, about 1,000 litres on that big field, so I can't see us. I think we'll easily do that one with what we've got in here, and then some. We'll probably do 2 or 3 fields of that size, so that's excellent. So we're just going to grab this, put it there, and then we should start on this contract next time. $8,886. Now, what was the piece of equipment that I said we needed that we didn't have? Bought the trailer, we bought the... that was it. The Bauer thing, wasn't it? The Eric Bauer. Let's do it. We're going to pull up, get that, and then we literally got all the equipment that I think we need tight. The only thing we've not got is a sprayer, which we will eventually need. And again, we'll get a starter sprayer to begin with. The Op 2000, it is the Op 2000 is my go-to 15-meter sprayer, 7,000. And I don't usually buy that second hand because it's, I might though this time because our money is so low, but we shall see. I'm not going to buy that yet anyway. We've got that contract going next time. We've got the seed to do it, so let's set this going. Ready for next time. Jump out and we will get the leveler. Get that. And go for that. And we will buy you. So, looking at our garage, we now have our mower and we have our loading wagon in harmony, in collaboration with the milling machine. We have too many transporters. We've definitely got enough of those. We've got our, we need to fill that. So mower, loading wagon, fertilizer limer, planter, plough, which I might get another plough, but I'm not going to do that now. 3-ton tipper for our fertilizer, and the Fendt GT platform for whatever we need. We might buy a couple more of those eventually, but I'm quite chuffed with that, to be honest. Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think we've got, I don't see everything we need, but everything we need to I can't see any flaws. Yes I can. The only other thing was the windrower, which I think that's 10,000, the one that I normally go for. I usually go for the Rosselmash, that one there, the 9 metre, and it's 10,472, so we can't afford it now, but that is what I'm looking for. But with the miller machine, I think it does suck quite a reasonable amount. Not enough for a windrower, but I think, to be honest, it should set as well. In fact, thinking about that, will we have enough? Yeah, we will. By the time we finish that, we will have enough for that last piece of equipment to round off what we need to do to start our grass barren. So what I am going to do, I'm never a big contract player. I played the contracts deliberately to get us where we need to be, because I think once you're there, I don't know though, to be honest. We might do some fertilizer contracts. I always like to have a means of income, of trickling income in. So I'll have a quick look at my go-to is normally solar panels. I might actually go for, I also like using the windmill. It's got quite a large footprint. That's the only bad thing to the windmill. Also the water mill, that hasn't got a big footprint, so that brings in 250 an hour. Can't remember what the, also eventually want one of those. Tool trolley, I like that one. So it shows you where your yellow chevrons are. And then, come on, where are you? Soon. There we go. $100 per hour on this. So to be honest, actually then, thinking about it, how much are the greenhouses? I might go something different. You know, I always do my solar panels. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure about that. That's a bit not so good. So let's have a look then. I reckon windmills. Wow, that's a decent one. But again, if I remember rightly, the radio tower, which obviously is out of our grasp at the minute. How much does that? $10 per hour. $10. I think we'll go for the a water mill and a windmill. So that's 35 grand. Then we'll net us £500 an hour. I don't want any more than that. I don't want to bring in absolutely tons and tons, because I then think you need passive income, especially on seasons. Truthfully, to bring a trickle of income. But I used to have 7, and then it becomes you're earning thousands an hour on normal. This is on hard economy, so obviously this is tougher. But you're bringing thousands in an hour, then it really is stupendous. And you've got to ask yourself the question, is it you or is it the solar panels that are winning for you? So yeah, I truthfully like to limit that now, and I usually limit it to 2 solar panels on most Let's Plays. So what we'll do is we'll have 2 items, and we'll go for the windmill and we will go for the water tower to bring in our income, passive income, and that is where we'll leave it. We won't go any more than that. I would eventually, I've already sort of marked that on the map, when we do really well, and obviously this is a long way off, I would love to buy the farm. Truly would. But we've got enough grass, to be honest, looking at this logically. The field that we looked at last time behind the shop, there's that one there which has got that weird shape there. There's also, oh actually the one I didn't look at was that one there, which is just further down. That's not bad. Also, I'd like to get rid of some of the, I'd like to hire the, I'll show you. I would like to hire the Tree Maverick, which is, I think it's £3,000, isn't it? Yeah, and I don't want it to make it into the TARDIS. It's already a little bit TARDIS, like with even 50,000 capacity. But that is unfortunately it is what it is, and I can't change that. Can I? Can I go to nothing? No, you can't. It's literally that is minimum. So I would like to go with the Tree Maverick because I'm not doing the wood chipping to do anything other than increasing those fields for us, because you can see all of those patches of massive trees that are there and there and there, all the way down there. I don't want to take them all out, but I want to trim them, and the same as that section there, again there's a massive set of trees there, so I'd like to trim that so that the field can be optimized. And then obviously there's that there that's all grass, and that there which is grass, which that's going to be our grass fields. So to be truthful, I don't really think we need to be buying grass fields. I think we've already got those. I will let that one go eventually. That one I am going to keep because it is, and I might eventually plough that and properly grass it, rather than having the grass that comes with it. And in fact, I may even do those, being as they're classed as our fields. It's because it's part of the periphery. I may well actually do that. There's a lot of periphery there as well. I've never ever done any of that ever, so those forests are classed as ours as well. I'd like to wander and have a look at that, but yeah, that is the plan of action, to be honest. So it's a lot of plans and a lot of advantages that the map itself has given us, but I would eventually like to call Lone Oak Farm our home. That would definitely be my first major purchase over anything else. I think we'll literally be using the one thing we do need though, really, which I think we probably need beforehand, is something like this silo. It's cheap as chips and got a really good 500,000, and it's multi-fruit as well. My absolute Missy B produces some absolutely fantastic mods, and this is the compact storage. Literally, it really is. I'm not trying to go absolutely 25,000, so it's not going to break the bank. Multi-fruit, I think we need to stick that somewhere like at the biogas plant, so that we've got some sort of storage over that section, because we've got an awful lot of things here and here, all in that area, and the central point would be the shop, but I'm not going to put that there. I mean, I suppose we could cut some out and put actually in one of those fields that's classed as ours, thinking about it. Probably, yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea, actually, thinking about it. Central is roughly there. If we could clear an area, stick that there, it's close to the biogas, close to the shop, close to all of the fields and that we are working in, and fairly central for storing things and running them across. Now, where is the sawmill? Ah, it's over there. So yeah, these are all possibilities, all things that I would like to have a go at the different times of year when we're not working. So next time though, truthfully, now that we've got everything we need, we've got a bit of seed money, we should get this, we should get the windrower, and we'll have 4,000 or 5,000. Mind you, as I say, if we get some fertiliser contracts, then I will take those. We will definitely do some of those. We've only got cultivating ones at the minute, so we'll literally look for some fertiliser ones on the bigger fields, do a couple of those to net us quite a bit of cash, and then with that cash we'll do something like the compact storage, and I want to hire the Tree Maverick and stick the wood chips in the compact storage until winter, when the price gets to its best, and then we'll literally cash in on that. It's something to fall back on. But also the other thing is, I would like to get that 35,000 for our passive income. I think probably that is my number one aim now. I'll probably persevere with the milling machine rather than get the, I don't know, I'm a bit of two minds of that, of literally getting the windrower. I think that probably trumps the compact, the solar panel, no, the passive income, the means of making passive income. I seriously do. I think after we'll get the windrower, passive income, and then we will do our grass barren bit for a bit, earn a bit of that. Also, there's one other mod that I want, and that is a slurry yard. That truly does is one of my go-to mods if I'm going the grass route, because it really is a fantastic mod that would really, I mean, obviously the income's not brilliant under hard economy, it really isn't, but it is nevertheless, it will make a difference, it will help. That's 5,000 as well. So yeah, again, once we start the grassroots, I think that probably even that trumps our passive income. So it's going to be, this is going to be second. Have I gone past the slurry yard? No, there we go. 5,000. That one. That is quite large. That may well have to go on. In fact, I'll show you. I wish you would just whiz that over. I don't think that'll fit in the biogas plant, but it may do. But I don't think. I think we're going to have to probably clear some of those. That field area that I was talking about where the compact storage should go. Yeah, which is these fields over here. Yeah, this is one of them. Yeah, would fit quite nicely there actually. But again, it's a bit of a waste of an area where we could slip that away, and the compact storage as well, close to that sort of field edge. That's, wow, that's very, very expensive. So that's about, how much would we? Yeah, wow, it's still going to be quite a bit. Very uneven ground. Very uneven ground. Let's see if we can get it, rotate it a little bit better to get a better price. It's still very uneven though, isn't it? Let's have a look down here if that's better or worse. Slightly better, but not a lot. Okay. How about you? Oh, it's even worse. Okay, that's definitely a bad idea. That's a weird corner. Ooh. I know I'd have to trim those trees, but that seems like a very good thing. We don't block the gateway. Is that about the best? Yeah, I think it is actually. I think that rotation's the best. It's still a bit weird. We cut those trees down. It's a funny corner anyway. So yeah, truthfully, I think that's probably a good place for that. And if that's that flat, I would imagine the compact storage could probably go next to it. Yep. So sorted. That's what we're going to be doing. I love to get these plans going now, so you've got something to aim for. Because I think if you go for a let's play that's too loose, you've got no idea where anything's going or what your order to aim for is. You can make a lot of mistakes. So it's nice to get your plans in order from an early time that you sort of see things. Anyway, I've done enough waffling. So our plan of attack is set. I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, and I hope you continue on this journey with us. I am really pleased with how, after just a few episodes, actually it's beginning to take shape. I thought this would be much more difficult, but the map is helping us, definitely hugely so. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'll say thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.